Hi guys, welcome back to Python programming class. In today's class, we're going to talk about Python print function. The print function might look simple, but it's one of the most important tools for any Python programmer. It allows us to display results, debug our code, and communicate information clearly. So in this class, we will break down the full syntax of print function, understand what each argument does, and explore how to control the output format. So if you look at this slide, this is the full syntax of print function. But for today's class, we're only going to look at the object, the separator argument, and the end argument. The file and the flush, we'll talk about that at a later time. They are kind of advanced for this level. So objects, the objects are the items we want to print, the items to print, and then the separator, the string inserted between values, the default is space, then end argument strings appended after the last value, and the default is new line character. And the best way to understand this is through demonstration. And one important information that I want us to uh, hold is that if you are printing multiple arguments separated by commas, Python automatically convert numbers to string. So what do we mean by that? Let's look at an example. So this is an example. And the items that we want to print, it could be variable, it could be strings, it could be numbers. So if we are printing multiple arguments, if we want to print multiple arguments within a print function, any numbers involved will be automatically converted into string. Okay, so let's print this and see what we mean by that. You see the hello world 2025. So if you're printing multiple arguments separated by commas, Python automatically convert numbers to string. Another example is this. Say for instance, as long as they are separated by comma, as long as they are, separated by comma, Python will always automatically convert the number to string. If you print this, this is another example. Also, this is another example. Um, let's print out this. Can you see this? We separated them by comma, so Python will automatically convert this number to string. Then another one is to say we want to print some series of numbers. Look at this. If we print this, look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4. Python will, any numbers involved, Python will automatically convert them to string. That's point number one that we need to take note of. Then point number two is that a single string require manual format. Say, for instance, let's use this as an example. A single string, this is a single string, okay? You can either have it like this. If you print it, it's going to print because we already wrap it up on the code. But what about if we want to use like a plus sign between them? Say, for instance, look at this. If you try to print this, because um, because here there is no comma here between them, so this is going to generate an error. Let's print it. Can you see that? That's going to generate error. So how do we correct that? So in order to correct this, it means you have to either introduce a string function, um, or you wrap it up with quotation mark. Okay, so if we use string function, we have to wrap it up with a quotation, or wrap it up with a quotation mark. So those are two important points you need to take note of. Point number one, if you are printing multiple arguments separated by commas, Python automatically convert numbers to string. And you can see them here. This is string, this is string, this is number. So Python automatically convert this. But if you want to deal with just an individual, then you have to manually format it. Okay. So, and the example is this. That's why we demonstrated this. So next, let's look at, now let's talk about separator when you introduce a separator into it. Let's give an example. Um, say for instance, let's look at this. Python is fun, and we use this as a separator. Print it and see. Let's look at the output. If you look at that, we are separating it with this. Another example is when we another example is say we want to print a date of birth, which is in this form. We can use this as our new separator. Look at that. Then at the same time, we can change the separator. Instead of using this, let's use this. If you print it, let's look at what the output will look like. Can we see that? So these are the these are reason why we use the separator. Then also, the same thing is applicable to the end when you use the include end argument. There are times where you need to use end argument. End argument is basically giving you opportunity to control the output of the, just to control the output of the result. Say now we want to use the end, we want to use the end argument. If you print this, look how it looks like. A common example that I can give here is say we want to print numbers. Sometimes you have to combine both. You have to combine both the you have to combine both you have to combine both the separator and you have to combine both sep argument and end argument. Say we want to print one, two, three, four, five. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. Three, four, five. So and we want we need a separator between them. Say let's just use end. Let's use just the end right now. If we use the end, let's print it out and see what the output looks like. Can you see that? One, two, three, four, five when we use the end. Then there are times we can use a separator. We can combine both the end and the separator. And let's see how that works if we combine the two. Say we want a separator between them, and the step that we're looking at is to use a dash. Okay. Um, one moment. Okay. This is just a tryout. Let's try this. Let's print this out and see how it look like. Look at this. Let me remove this. Okay, so let's print it again and see what it look like. So when we printed this out, this hand, I need to change it. Let me change it to, let me change it. Let's print again and see what it look like. Can you see that? This is what it look like. So that's what we use it for. That's what the purpose of, this is just to show you the purpose of using sep argument and also use the end argument. So, but let's put this into perspective. Let's see, I'm just going to clean off all this so that we can see it clearly. I'm removing this. So let's say we want to print out this table so that we can understand the application of all these arguments. Let's see how we can use them. So in this case, um, if you look at here, um, if you look at this name, subject, um, so name, subject, look at it. So you can print it out. This is name, subject, score. And this is the separation that we're using. Print it out. Can you see that? And the next one is that the next one, if you look at this, we have to print out these two. So let me show you how to do that. Look at this. Let's print it out. Can you see that? For you to know the length of the character we determine. We can determine the length of this by the length of the character. Okay. Then next we have Alice math. We have 85. Let's print that out. So with print function, you can achieve a lot of things. Let's do this. Can you see this? Let's print that out and see how it look like. Can you see that? Alice math 85. Um, then the next line, let's type out in straight out the next line of code. Look at this. Let's print it out and see how it look like. Can you see that? It looks like everything is aligned at this point. Okay, can you see that? Then the last one, let's look at this. See that? Print it out and see what it look like. If you see, you can see that something is missing here. I'm just gonna make I'm gonna change. Let me change this to 90. 90. Then I can change this to 78. Okay. Okay. And let's reprint and see what it look like. And you see that if I turn this, you can see that we actually created a table. You need to format more for you to get the accurate line and all that. You have to do the formatting, but I'm not doing that. I'm just doing this to show you application of this concept. Okay. And I will see you in our next class. Thank you.